This is a scout of backpack site K, as in kilo, at Savanna Portage State Park, in or near McGregor, Minnesota, which is in Aitkin and St. Louis counties. Alright, so we are at Savanna Portage, aka Savanna Portage State Park, located in or near McGregor, Minnesota. As soon as we enter here, we take a right, and we're going to head towards the main campground, right off of Lake Shumway. Our mission today is to scout the backpack site, letter K, as in kilo, or Cabeto Gamma, backpack K. Now I do have a camp here tonight at backpack K, and I actually just rolled the dice before I even scouted it for myself. But I figured it was worth a shot. Seemed like a relatively low risk endeavor without knowing what it looks like first. And since I'm on my way here and going to be camping here, I figured might as well put my scouting skills to use and do an official scout of this backpack site for everyone else to enjoy. Help you make up your decision whether or not it's going to be the site for you. That's a little bit of a ride here towards this main campground. And I did do a camp last year here, and I also did a scout of the group camp, which is still probably the best group camp I've ever seen in my life. So if you want to check that scout out, I'd really highly recommend it. I also have a hike here from last year as well. It's a pretty good hike. We actually walked down this road here for a little bit. I'm not a big fan of hiking on roads, but it just kind of had to do that to do what I wanted to do. I even did a scout of the Wolf 1 backpack campsite here, which is a pretty interesting one. So I recommend you check out that scout as well. And you can canoe into that one, or boat into that one, or hike in. But if you boat in, you would actually park near the snow campsite. And I don't have a scout of that one, but that's just kind of an interesting one. I think it's more of a newer one, the snow one. Just up to our left here, we're going to be passing one of my favorite shorter hikes in general, but at this state park, it's probably my favorite hike. I think it's called the Beaver Pond Trail. Might be like a 1 to 2 mile loop. I would really highly recommend it. I'll show you, I'll call it out here as soon as we pass by it. And as always, I'm using the Avenza Maps app. I have really weak cell service here. The Avenza map still works pretty good for showing my location. And just to our left here is going to be, there's trail parking to our left, but if we go up a little further, this is the Beaver Pond Trail. And I love this trail. I would highly recommend that trail if ever you get a chance to camp here or just visit here at Savanna Portage State Park. Now before we get to the main campground, there's going to be some more parking right here. And this is for 2 other backpack sites that are here. I'll just show you that real quick. Backpack sites D as in David and G as in George. It looks like nobody's here for that. I'm not sure if it's reserved or not. But if I drive by that tomorrow morning after my camp and there's no vehicles there, I might just do a quick scout of those as well. During my hike last year, I tried to go into them, but they were occupied. But based on what I saw, I wasn't super stoked about them. And that wasn't just because I was jaded that I wasn't able to get in either. Just didn't really resonate with me, the area. It's a nice area to hike though. But yeah, I might actually scout those tomorrow. But as for right now, I do not know if that'll happen. Okay, so here is where if we go straight, we'll enter the main campground. And if we go left, there's the boat landing parking lot. Now, I intend to park for this Backpack K campsite at the boat landing parking lot. However, there's another potential parking option in one of the loops here in this main campground. There's 2 loops in this campground. So the first loop is going to be sites 1 through 35. And no, I do not have a published scout of this campground. I have an unpublished one and I will never publish it, but one day I may actually do a scout of this campground. I might do that tomorrow. Just don't know right now. Now these sites are a little crowded, which is the common theme at most campgrounds. It's looking kind of empty though. This is going to be one of the nicest weekends of 2026 thus far. You can just check the date of the cam footage down below. Kind of middle May right now. So straight ahead, there's a little parking area. And from this parking area, there's a trail that you can take. And it says visitor parking only. So I'm not going to use this as a parking for this Backpack Site K, and I would not recommend you park here. And the trail is just to our right here. This is the J intersection, as in Joseph. So I was actually going to show that I was going to hike back from K on that trail. This dog might bark. I better roll up my windows. I really hate it when dogs bark at me. It's really rude. I was going to hike back in from that trail and just kind of show you what that trail looks like, but based on what I'm seeing here in real life, I would not even park there for Backpack Site K, and I wouldn't recommend you park there either. However, that might be a nice backup option if the boat parking area is full, which it probably never will be. But just nice to kind of have a backup option in your back pocket. That being said, we're going to weasel on out of this campground here. But since we're here and we're feeling good, we're just going to drive through that other loop real quick just to give you a little taste. So site 36 through 61 up here, just to give you a taste. you can't really see everything in depth unless I get out and look at it. And I did camp here 2 years ago in this area here. This is the vault toilet I used to the right, and this was my camp to the right here, number 41. I camped here, and well, it's good to see that site again. It wasn't one of my favorite camps, but and the guy across from me, he was snoring, but he probably heard my nose whistle sometime throughout the night anyways. All right, and just to our, well, straight ahead, that is Lake Shumway, the Lake Shumway. And just to our right, straight across the lake, is where backpack site K would be. So we're going to be hopefully on the lake or near it, but sound travels pretty well over water. So you may, at backpack site K, we may, or you may, hear the sounds of this crowded campground. Or you might not. We're going to find out tonight. Though it's not that busy tonight. And here is possibly the only camper cabin. There might be another one or two maybe. But yeah, this is a camper cabin right here. It's in the main campground, obviously, and it seems to be positioned in a decent spot. But you're going to have the lights sweeping on that turn there. All the lights, some of the halogen lights. It's pretty annoying. I might try to do 60 here one day. It's kind of in its own little world. And you can cut across the middle of the loop there to the vault toilet, the shower area. Which I don't shower, but I would use the restroom there if it was open. There's something up here as well. I know I'm kind of OCDing out on stuff that isn't the backpack site K right now, but 62. So this is 62. Now this is kind of a weird one. I don't know what the deal is with this. If it's like a group camp or a walk-in. It looks kind of weird on the map also. The reservation map when you reserve sites. I don't know what the deal is with this. That's a look at it, a quick little look at it. Alright, so now we're going to exit the main campground and we're going to go towards the boat landing area. And this is where we're going to park for backpack site K. This is also where I recommend that you would park if you were to hike into the Wolf 1 backpack site. Wolf 1. Now for that you'd hike in the other direction. But for that scout, I checked out several potential parking areas, and this seemed to be the best one for like the shortest distance to hike into Wolf 1 if you were to hike into it and not watercraft into it. Which you'd park in a totally different area if you were to watercraft into Wolf 1. And again, I have a scout of that backpack site as well. But I digress. So here is the boat launch area. It's in here I plan on parking. Unfortunately, this red vehicle took my spot. There should be a trail entry somewhere to the right over here. So we're going to have to try to figure that. I think I see it. But, yeah, I think I see it. So just to save time, what I'm going to do is, on our hike into there from this parking area here, I'm going to ruck in all my supplies except my wood for the most part. Just going to ruck it all in. And then when we get there, we'll take a look. And I'll probably stash my gear. And then when we hike back, I'll show you the hike back as well. Then I'll end it there. And then I plan to ruck back in my wood, my firewood back into the site and start my camp. Alright, so I'm going to get my ruck ready here. And then we're going to pop out on foot and hike into backpack site K. So let's go. Alright, I got all my gear. All in all, I'm probably at a 65, 70 pound with the ruck. and all the gear, which is pretty ridiculous. But I just haven't found a way to wean it down yet. Well, I did a little. Alright, so let's see here. I still got my location on the map here, which is really nice, even though I don't have service. This blue, the blue trail here. It's approximately 0.53 miles. So we're just going to follow this trail there. This is probably just a courtesy path from the second loop of the campground there to the boat launch area here. Lake Shumway. Yeah, so this is what the hike-in would look like to backpack site K as in kilo. Looks like we're off to the J as in Joseph intersection. Yeah, it looks like this is the trail here. Nice. Caught a fish. I haven't rucked in a while with all this gear. So that's squeak. It's an extraordinarily short hike to a backpack site. Most of them are at state parks in Minnesota. But if I was rucking this much gear, I wouldn't want to probably go more than 2 miles, to be honest. I gotta find a way to dumb it down a little. I ended up taking a wool blanket. I remember being in this area when I camped here, I think it was 2024. In October, looking up at the bald spot here at the night. You can see the night sky from this bald spot here. I think I was some site 41. I just walked right into it. That was one of the first colder ones when the year started getting colder again that year. Got a little chilly that night. Oh yeah, and I came down here and I saw this area. That's right, I remember that. Yep, I went right in here. Pretty sure I took a picture. Probably admired this rock also. So I got some notes here about this park. That's a little Rudy and awesome trail. This is what I'd hope for to see in like any kind of a trail. Really, it's my favorite kind of trail. I call it a trail. Just a little roots and rocks. There's an annoying little dog yelping in the distance, which is a common staple in most campgrounds, unfortunately. It's probably that obnoxious little creature we saw on the way in. And I wouldn't be that mean towards cute little dogs. They weren't so viciously annoying. Trust me, I would be very nice to them if they weren't so annoying. So let's check my notes here. So this park was established in 1961, allegedly. And this is the 3rd largest state park in Minnesota. Oh, I got some cordage here. And it shares 2 counties, Aitkin and St. Louis counties. A-I-T-K-I-N, Aitkin and St. Louis counties. Well, this I might not have to cut because it looks pretty loose. There's a lot of knuckleheads in this world that like to leave their cordage hanging on trees. And I wish I could just, I had the opportunity to slap all of them right across the face. I just heard that dog yelp again, and I almost said I wish I could kick that little dog like a football through a field goal post, but I said don't say that, it's too negative. So we're almost to the J intersection. I really like this hike in. It's a little shady. I'm hoping that the campsite we're going to is going to be shaded as well. Again, I already committed to it, and I haven't seen it yet. That's kind of rare for me. Usually I will scout a site most of the time before I plan it. Right along the edge here are some campsites here on the main campground. It doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of people here tonight. However, people might be trickling in late in the day. I noticed that last week at Franz Hevne State Park, a lot of people started trickling into that empty campground as the sun set. So here we got trail to the campground. And over here is probably the trail to backpack site K. We are facing the right direction here. I just put red in the shed. North, so north is that way. So we're heading northeast. That being said, we are slightly northeast of Big Sandy Lake. Looks like one of the bigger lakes in Minnesota. Nothing near Mille Lacs or the almighty Red Lake. Well, it's one of the bigger ones. And also Lake Winnebagocheech, lest we forget. I think Lake Winnebagocheech is bigger than Big Sandy Lake. And also Leech Lake as well. I might be able to see the parking lot from this backpack site, which is rare for me to see my vehicle from a backpack site. So I would call that a bonus, essentially, because I like to keep my eyes on my vehicle when it's practical, although it already has eyes inside of it and sometimes outside of it as well. So we're on the other side of Lake Shumway now already. That was pretty quick. And I am taking my time. And this Chief Patrol rucksack that I have, it just makes carrying a very heavy load of gear, incredibly easy. I don't recommend you buy one though, because I want to hoard all of them for myself. So I'm not going to educate anyone on how cool they are. Although I've elaborated on it at times during camps. And I might do that again here. I don't plan on doing a camp video on this one, but next week I'm going to be camping at Maplewood State Park backpack site Cow, C-O-W, Cow. I flubbed one of my words there, so I edited that out. That's all that was. Whew. Lake Shumway. I'm already liking this site. Now the sun is setting over there, obviously. I'm thinking we might be able to see the sun from this site set. It should rise over there, so we probably won't see a sunrise. So it might rise in that area there. We'll see when we get here, though, how much of the sky we can see, and if I remember, we'll analyze the path of the ecliptic as well. I don't think you can camp at this backpack site in the colder months, although sometimes they'll let you call up at certain state parks and just ask them, hey, can I book a couple nights here or a night here at this site, even though it's clearly not reservable. And sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, it's no problem at all. This site is, or this camp, this state park this year is a little weird because I called them like 5 times and they never answered the phone. So then I left a message and they never returned my call. And I was just going to ask about the parking for backpack site K here, which I kind of pretty sure I figured out, but I just wanted to see what they say. Because sometimes I get an answer I didn't expect. There's a special spot I didn't know about. And then, I don't know, 2 weeks after I was waiting for the call back, I got an email from Lake Bemidji State Park. Lake Bemidji State Park. And they said, Savanna Portage is not going to be staffed this year. It's kind of weird. So I guess there's no staff here this year. So just a little bit of a trash here. We'll pick that up. That's a little strange. Oh, here we go. So there's looks like the number 3 right here. I'm just gonna check the map. I haven't checked that in a minute. Sometimes, even though I feel like I'm obviously on the right trail, I meandered off somehow. So 3, I don't know what this 3 is all about. I don't see it on the map here. 3. Plan on clipping my nails tonight at camp, so if you notice how dirty they are, try not to judge me. I don't have an office job anymore, thankfully. I feel like more of a man now that I don't have an office job, that's for sure. Ooh. And after we check out this site here, like I said, we're gonna also show the hike back as well. And I will have pretty much no gear. I'll have an empty rucksack. But so far things are moving along pretty good. I'm just gonna stash my gear when I'm here, so I can have an empty rucksack and fill it up with firewood and bring it back here. I was lucky enough to bogart enough oak at work where I didn't have to purchase any firewood.
which is really awesome because the price of gas is kind of cray. It's kind of cray right now. So that'll help offset that cost in gas. And I have a lot of trips planned this month as well. So I'm already over. I might be getting close to $200 in gas already for this month. And I budgeted like $450, which is insane. It's absolutely insane. But I budgeted for it, so I'm prepared. So we're further over than I was thinking we would be. Just in my head, just kind of thinking about it. As far as the lake goes, this side of the lake. We're pretty far up the lake, this side of the lake. I think I hear coyotes in the distance, maybe? Oh man, I really hope I hear some wildlife tonight. I plan to do, like, if certain things happen through the night, I'll do like cuts and I'll insert it into the appropriate times in this scout here. It's been a while since I took a shadow picture of me rucking with all my gear. This Sheep Patrol is designed to handle up to 100 pounds and up to 90 liters, but you can compress it down to a really small pack as well. It's extraordinarily durable and malleable. I ran into this guy, he was in the military, and he said, I think he said he's from the infantry, and he was like, oh man, you got one of those. He's like, we call those a fast. The Chief Patrol rucksack I got, he's like, we call them a fast, if I remember that properly. I picked up a few more of them just as a insurance policy. It's one of the most versatile pieces of gear I have, and has practical uses at home in case I don't have a vehicle and I need to ruck groceries or ruck water. It makes it practical, which means it makes it doable. You got to be a little fit though to pull that off. Lake Shumway. Alright, we are honing in on backpack site K. It's in Kilo. I think I see it right there. There's a structure there. So they might have a structure here. Sometimes they provide structures for backpack sites. Sometimes they don't. I'm guessing we go up the stairs here. Which going up the stairs is a killer on the legs with a fully loaded ruck. Probably have a lot more, well, I have more volume on the outside of it. And kind of the inside. I got my tent, my sleep system, my food. With the food I have, I'm good for one night. And that's usually all I do is one night. I just got to make sure I'm re-energized for work the next week. But if I didn't have to work and I had unlimited money, I'd probably push it more. Here we go. Open. I remember seeing this before on the other sites. It says open. I'm not sure how you make that say closed. I think you're supposed to put your reservation thing on it. This is a scout of backpack site K, as in kilo, at Savanna Portage State Park in or near McGregor, Minnesota, which is in Aitkin and St. Louis counties. As parts of it are in parts of those. I'm not 100% sure which county we are in right now, geographically. And I don't really care. But if you leverage the GPS coordinates and you're interested, I'm sure you can figure that out. Looks like it's a reasonable distance from the main trail here, which is always a good thing. You want your backpack site off of the main trail, or off of any trail, really, especially a hiking club trail, which that one we were on wasn't, but I have seen that before. It's a nice little lake access here. I might check that out in a bit. So I know I might sound like a sissy, but I'm actually gonna drop the ruck off here. And we actually have firewood. I'm still gonna ruck my wood in, but this site looks pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna drop my gear off here and we're gonna take a look around. I'd say it's about lower 80s, upper 70s right now. Hottest day of the year so far of 2026, I do declare. I'm already sweating quite a bit, which I would anyways. It's a pretty serious ruck there. Alright, let's take a look. Widowmakers. Super awesome tent pad. So I rolled the dice and I scored on this one. So, very good, sir. Very good, I can already tell. There might be some curveballs that don't stand out that really turd the punch bowl, but this is extraordinarily awesome. We're gonna be able to see the sunset here. This time of day though, the sun is a bit persecuting. We got east and west. Just because we have the tech here, I'm gonna use stellarium, which may or may not work here. Moose Lake, real time. There's the sun, so we follow the ecliptic from there this way. Oh, it's Jupiter and Venus, in case you're wondering. Regulus, Leo, Virgo, Libra. I'm not going to tell you what I am, but we didn't see it. So the sun should rise right in here. This site has probably the exact amount of shade I would hope it would have. I love shaded sites. Wow, this is awesome. We're gonna take our time on this one. You can jump around however you want over here. Do what you want. So this is looks like an area where people chose a tent, which I might do. I just might. Even though that's an awesome tent pad, I like it in here. No widowmakers in here. And we do got some little bigger rocks, roots in here. I noticed some bigger rocks in the main tent pad as well. So I got my pad, obviously. It's not the thickest pad in the world though. I've used it on over 140 trips, camp trips. And I've used it at home as well on times. So I think this is camp trip 142 or 143 for me. We're doing good. This is a bigger, unconventional fire pit I haven't seen often. You hear the frogs, which is awesome. Another thing you want to keep an eye on is potential trees where you could place the trail cam. I like to have the trail cam facing where my tent is so I can see if anything approaches me at night. this is up there with one of the top backpack sites I've ever been at. And I wouldn't lie to myself just because I reserved it. I'd be extraordinarily brutal and honest, like I usually am, I think. So I'm just following a little trail here. It might be a relative trail. I say relative instead of the word game. It kind of ends in here. There's really no access to anything that I'm noticing, and nothing has really grown in yet. However, the ticks are out in full force. Oh shoot, I just had a tick on my neck. That's not good. I got ticks on me. That's not good. I have to check for ticks. I start wigging out here now, and I got a tick on me. Have psychological effects. Yeah, I got another one on me too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check for ticks. These are American dog ticks. Right here. So as I walk in here, there's a really high risk I will pick up ticks, and we got a really cool frog here. Wow. That is super awesome, man. Wow. Hey, buddy. That is an American toad. I captured one of those before with the C cap. Just used the C cap there. That is a cool little guy, man. I just love frogs. Looks like he's got some muscle to him too. Alright, buddy. Enjoy your summer, buddy. Be careful. Watch out for owls or whatever else. Snakes. So I'm watching the ticks. I got the khaki colored pants, so I'll be able to see the shape of the insects very easily. I pivot to khaki from black once the warmer months hit. Because obviously the sun on the black makes it really hot. The sun was beating down on my legs in the vehicle on the way here, so it really came through for me already. Alright, not bad. A little structure here in case SHTF from a weather standpoint. Although I'd probably just hunker down in my tent. You know, you gotta watch out for the trees. If a tree fell on here, yeah, you'd probably be safe. Don't cut live trees. Some rules there. Don't pry bark. Don't drive nails. Don't use a hatchet on live trees. They try to supply firewood to our backpack site. Sometimes it's not possible. Supply can be limited. If you run out, it is permitted to scrounge for dead and down wood. Or firewood is available for sale at the office. Wow. So, I'm still gonna ruck in my wood because I'm striving to be more of a legend. But that is, wow, I would have been all good. If I didn't have any wood, I would have been all good. Having a fire is still kind of a big deal for me. Right now, the fire risk though it's high right now. I think it's because of the humidity's low or something like that. So here we don't have the. Well, we might have had a latrine here, but this isn't technically. Well, this is a latrine. It locks on the outside, so that's a problem. You got to really watch for that. You don't want someone locking you in there. This is a really, really nice structure. Wow, this is nice. And it smells like, it's got like a wooden cabin smell. Wow, it's got like a wooden cabin smell. I've never been in a this is more of a vault toilet than it is a latrine. Oh wow, look at this. One of these guys is in here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that a tussock moth? If that's a tussock moth, I'm gonna just absolutely lose it. A giant leopard moth. I've never seen that before. Oh my god, I'm still gonna lose it. You've got to be kidding me, man. Oh my god. You have no idea how much I love moths. Oh wow. Man, that is so cool. I saw a white one that looked like that at Beaver Creek Valley State Park on my trail cam the morning after my camp. And I believe it was called a tussock moth. And I found a no longer living, I think it's called a polyphemus moth. Wow, that is so cool, man. So this is probably the coolest vault toilet I've ever seen. Very nice. Yeah, it's like a hybrid between a vault toilet and a latrine. I've never seen, like, I'm not even sure what to call it officially, actually. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. So we've already seen a really cool, what was that, American toad, I think, and then that moth. And that was before I said this is one of the best sites I've ever seen for backpacking. So this is a complete and total winner. This is one of the best ones I ever rolled the dice on and just reserved without seeing it first. This is an awesome site. So I love it. I love it. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stash my gear, and then I'm gonna have that empty ruck. We're gonna hike back. I'll show you the hike back, and then we'll wrap it up. But I'm just gonna stash my gear here. So I'll probably just time lapse that. That's a big fly. I'm not a big fan of those. Yeah, you can see the vehicles from here as well. So I probably need binos to really see my vehicle good. But it's in plain view. You can see the vehicles in plain view. So that's extraordinarily. I've never had that happen before at a backpack site. So this is a total winner for a backpack site for me. And I'm gonna pepper in some highlights during the trip as well in the site to kind of give you a vibe of in the site during the camp. So I call it insight. So I'm going to take with me some gloves, a thick mill storage bag essentially, some little trash bags in case I can use those as well. I'd probably double those up though if I need to. I'm going to put the wood inside the thick mill storage bag to help protect the inside of the rucksack. Our backup clothes, I'm going to leave this on the bottom as padding to kind of help prevent the wood from pushing through on the bottom of the rucksack. I think I'm going to try that. I got my power system here. I got to leave it in here because I got the wires routed through the top of the ruck and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm leaving that. Those are some power banks. The inside's pretty much clear now. Sides are clear, the top part's clear, pouch. The inside's clear. I still got some stuff inside the molly here, the molly attached stuff, so I should take that out also. I'll leave some of the lighter stuff. I'm going to keep my multi-tool on here as well. I doll my rucksack up in a way so that it can be in any position. It can be directly upside down, on its side, whatever, no matter what's in it at all times. Alright, so the rucksack is pretty much clear for the most part, and this is all the gear that I had in it. And food, of course, and water, coffee. I'm not going to break everything down, but that's a lot of stuff. So now I'm going to take all this stuff and put it in this massively large 100-liter dry bag. I'm going to store it. And then I'm going to put some ghillie over it. Alright, that's good. Tighten it up. Mainly try to keep critters out, insects mainly. And this thing's not really designed to carry a lot of load. It's pretty heavy here. But I'll just be gingerly with it. Just go right there. So the camo pattern helps. This ghillie, I'm using it for this purpose. I'm not going to bring this in the tent tonight. I'm going to leave it on the outside of the tent in case it gets ticked up. But that dry bag should prevent any ticks from getting inside of there. And this is actually the wrong ghillie. I left the bigger one at home. So I made a mistake on that. I thought this was the bigger one. So the bigger one will go all the way over it very easily. But this will, this is a backpack ghillie. But it'll still, it'll help. Well, the other ghillie I have is a lot better, but that'll help. We shouldn't have any traffic in here when I'm gone. Still possible. Even if we do have traffic in here, they won't be able to take a lot of what I have. But be able to still take some stuff. Still, I'm gonna have eyes on the situation here. Just broke on me recently, so I had to fix this with this makeshift belt management, strap management, buckle, molly attachment. There we go. So this, I'm not going to hide this trail cam that much. It's going to be in plain view here. I don't really care because I'm not going to be gone long, and if just seeing this would be a deterrent more than likely. Turn this bad boy on. Make sure it loads. There we go. So that'll get the entry, and that'll cover that in the distance, which is, you have to look for it. Come in here. Oh, that's covered with the brush. Come in here. This is brighter than that, so this would probably stand up more in your eye. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. And this will be a distraction visual on the table here. Alright, we're almost ready. I'm gonna keep the TP on me in case I got a wipe. No, I'm just kidding. In case I got to blow my nose. I don't have any first aid supplies on my ruck now or anything like that. But it's a really short hike, as you know. Should be alright. Still got some weight to it. It might be about 15 pounds right now. Maybe 10, the ruck, 10 to 15 right now, with all the stuff that's on it, the attachments. Alright. Alright, here we go. So let's make our way back. The sun shouldn't set until 8:30. We got 2 hours. And again, I'm probably gonna lay in some footage here of tonight, certain moments in the night, maybe not. I might not do that. But this is a scout of backpack site K, as in kilo, here at Savanna Portage State Park near McGregor, Minnesota, just northeast of Big Sandy Lake. Oh, I like it. I would highly recommend this site. And again, I might insert more tidbits depending on what I encounter tonight. But as of right now, if this was just a regular scout and I wasn't camping here, I would highly recommend this site. Right on Lake Shumway too. Man, it's awesome. Alright, so the one thing to call out is that with the tent pad here, it's extraordinarily rocky. So it actually got really windy here, and I actually used more stakes than I've ever used before on all 4 corners and the vestibule sides, which I usually just do the vestibule sides, but this tent pad is so rocky. One of my stakes already got destroyed, and I never even used it before. And rocks were fighting this one. I've used this one on many trips, so hopefully it withstood it. I was kind of more careful with it. This one probably got destroyed a little, bent up a little. But yeah, really rocky ground here on this tent pad, so that's one important call out. The stake over here closer to the grass went in really good, really easily, like you'd want it to. So I'm thinking over here might be a better place for a tent. Then again, there's still rocks and there's lots of roots, so yeah, but that's an important call out though. The really rocky underneath the graveler is really rocky. Sure they can tell me. Slowly smiling eyes, and so what it said. Take a load off, Betty. Take a load for free. Alright, just kind of settling down now for the night a little. Got a fire going, chop up some fat wood. Took a little bit of this birch, which is allowed to do here. It was already on the ground. And a little bit of this brush here, this dry brush. Just to kind of help get it going here. And I got all this oak. It got pretty windy there for a second, as you seen in the clip earlier. And the wind died down. I had a feeling that was going to happen once the sun set. Had a minor incident with the alcohol stove, with the wind, but I think I learned my lesson this time. And the frogs are insanely loud. So, and there was somebody here when I got back, so that was interesting. And the first thing I heard when I walked back in my sight was a dog barking at me, which everybody knows I love. But I was able to calm down and have a good interaction, thankfully. So, and give some intel also, tell them that the boardwalk was shut down. So that was good intel. So that was a good thing that we went that way. Got that intel. If she would have went that way, she would have had to backtrack, and it would have been. It was getting late in the day, so it would have been kind of rough. But it sounded like she knew what she was doing. I'm interested to see if she noticed the trail cam, and if she noticed where my stuff was. If she took interest in it when she was here, when I wasn't here, and how long she was here. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm about to have a little bit of dinner here and then try to calm down a little bit. That wrecking in that wood was pretty brutal. That was the most weight I've ever rucked in, I think, ever. It was probably about 90 pounds. I took it too far. Yeah, so things are kind of mellowing out a little. I think there's like loon sounds coming off the lake. Yeah, so whatever that is. Just kind of waiting to see kind of wildlife emerges. There's some weird sounds over here. Almost sounds like a sneaker. Someone walking in a sneaker. I'm not totally sure what probably an insect making that sound, but I'm not sure what kind of insect that is. You can hear the frogs out here, and the wind totally died off. I thought it was going to once the sun set. So aside from like the rocks and the tent pad, those are a little brutal actually. I didn't really expect that. That was kind of a curveball. So far this site is pretty phenomenal. So we'll just wait and see if anything crazy happens at night. Probably won't. Yeah, so just wrapping up the night here. This is a pretty awesome vault slash latrine. It's one of the nicest I've ever seen. You can actually leave the door open like this. Sometimes you don't really want to shut it when you're in there, especially if the door is close to your back. It can be a little creepy. But yeah, it's pretty nice in here. So this little guy's still up here, and he's actually, I've seen him moving a little bit. So that's good. He's moving a little bit, so hopefully he'll be alright. Hopefully he'll transform into a moth. It's a cool little guy though, man. Yeah, I just love this vault toilet slash latrine. It's really close to the site too, so it's just super awesome. It's not creepy at all. Go into it, it's super awesome. This is just a phenomenal site. Now I did hear some horn honking from the parking slash campground over there. So you can still hear campground noises over there, but it hasn't been too bad. There's been a lot of common loon sounds. And up in the sky there is really bright. That's Venus up there, but I can't see it. But yeah, Lake Shumway at night. And the moon's already set with the sun. That's probably why it was so windy towards sunset, because the moon and the sun were kind of right near each other. That's my guess anyways, why it was so windy. Yeah, this is a phenomenal site. I got the trail cam going. I better fire it up actually, I haven't turned it on yet. I can't wait to see if anything happens at night. I still can't believe there was somebody here when we got back from the hike from Rucking in the Wood. So we would have for sure captured him on the trail cam unless it failed me. The motion sensor failed me. So I'm really interested in checking that out. She seemed pretty nice. She had kind of a witchy vibe to her too, but in a good way, you know. I kind of like that. Oh, so yep, I'm gonna hunker down and hopefully have a good night. I'll see what happens. If anything happens, I'll try to catch it. Alright, so it's the next morning, and everything went pretty well in the night. There's a lot of birds here, which is pretty cool. I did notice though in the morning here, there were some boaters that went across here. There's always going to be different people, but there were some, they're pretty loud voices, and there was smoke, and there's a lot of coughing. So beware of that. You're gonna have boating traffic right over here. And the rocks here, pretty brutal on this pad. And I called out yesterday, putting the stakes in was a little difficult. Ironically, this stake went in too easy. It was like sand and it didn't even stick in. This one I struggled with getting around rock. This one was a nightmare. Couldn't get that one in, and I think I bent it a little. That was that stake's maiden voyage, was its final voyage. And this one was a little struggle, not too bad. That one was okay, and this one was perfect. I think it's because it went in with the grass here a little more. So yeah, that was the struggles here. It's pretty awesome site though. But yeah, and then the hike in, there was the barking dogs in the main campground, which is usually a problem in the main campground. Dogs they just gotta bark at people for some reason. And then when I came in here yesterday, there was actually a lady here with her dog. It immediately started barking at me. It's like I just can't escape the barking dog modality. But other than that, it's pretty awesome. So, and I got pretty high standards too. I get irritated pretty easily, so should be a winner for most people, I would say. Yeah, so I just get out here on a boat out here, just kind of hovering, and just feel his energy, and it's really annoying. He's been out there for like half hour, 40 minutes, just in this spot. There's a big lake, so just to be hovering right there is kind of a nosy thing, if you ask me. And I just heard somebody walking down the trail here mentioning the backpack site. So it's a little bit more trafficy here than I was thinking it would be. I guess that makes sense because the site is pretty close to the main campground over there, so that's part of the convenience, the handoff with the convenience. But yeah, just a couple more call outs there. Stakes like the bend over here. And, this is a really good fishing spot, I guess. They've been here for a really long time. You can just like perfectly see his head right from my picnic table. Just his head, just perfect view right here. So, I'm sure he'll paddle away now that I'm heading out, but it's really, really annoying. You got people that are just right here. It's really annoying. And there's this whole lake right here. It's just, this is the spot right here. This is the area right here. Magically, this is the area where all the fish are. There's that. There's that. Alright, it's a pretty good site. People kind of ruined it like usual, but it's a pretty good site. So, thank you. Alright. Oh yeah, and real quick, we're going to look down here. I feel super free right now with this light rucksack. Wow, the steps and everything. Oh wow. So you can portage your way in here as well. Try not to fall in. Yeah, that's the sign. So you can actually, from where we were in that parking area down there, it's hard to see through a Krishna walking on water, or the Son of God walking on water. It's hard to see, but you can portage your way into this site as well. Just kind of like Wolf 1, you can portage your way into that one also. So you can hike in or portage your way in on a canoe or whatnot, whatever. Oh, that's really, really cool, man. It's really cool. There's enough room down here. You can even put a tent down here, which I'm not supposed to recommend because it's the water level rises, which you could. Right now you could. Well, I really love this site. I think the worst thing that could happen is I'd realize that one or more ticks embedded themselves in my skin throughout the night. But I'm gonna be careful. All right, here we go. Yeah, I don't want to leave it. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually coming back here really quick. Oftentimes I'll be leaving a backpack site. I just don't want to leave when I'm scouting it. But tonight, we're coming right back. This is the best weather of the year so far, I guarantee it. So I really scored on this one. Oh, thank God I scored on this one. Oh. And we got a trail that goes around Lake Shumway as well, all the way around. So that is an awesome hike, I'm sure of it. Yeah, you take this to, we're at site K, but you take this to intersection K, which is really confusing. And then to L, you can go around. You can go past the parking area where we're going. So that looks like a really cool hike as well. We already did, I guess, more than 50% of it around the lake. I'll just work our way back. You know what? We already seen the hike in this way. Let's do it. Let's take the other route. Let's take the other route. It's no problem. I kind of get mad if I don't see it both ways, but I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Because technically you can hike in coming from this direction as well. It's just a little longer. Then I won't have to feel bad if I don't do a hike video here, because I kind of just want to set up camp and relax. So this way I'll be able to work in a lot. But what I won't, there's a jet engine up there. Can't really escape that without escaping convenience. Now ticks, they don't really seem to fall from the sky or from trees. They seem to come up from the ground. So I wouldn't be super paranoid looking up or ticks flying towards you. Kind of keep your eyes towards your legs more. Gotta make sure my pants stay cuffed over my boot. Even then I have socks pulled up pretty high. Still you gotta watch out. This might be the worst time of the year for ticks, actually. Like the month of May. And no cell service here with this phone. I noticed my redundancy phone though seems to have better coverage. Like when I lose signal with my main phone, when I'm navigating on the road, I'll pull out my redundancy and that seems to pick up a signal always. At least it has twice so far. Or my other phone has just been SOS only. That might be upgraded from a service standpoint. It is a different provider. But I did that. I got a redundancy phone because I was so scared that I might actually accidentally drop my phone in the water. That's actually the only badges I don't have on Seek is identifying fish. I haven't identified even one fish because I don't want to hold my phone over water because I'm such a klutz. Number 5. Definitely feels humid to a certain extent out here. Yeah, one of my pant legs already came up over my boot. Today it was happening all day, so I'm probably gonna get longer pant sizes. I'm probably gonna increase the inches by 32, 2 inches. So I'm a 34 length now, which is long for me, but I need that to cover over my boot heel ankle. But these summer ones, they keep popping up over the boot, and it was happening at work also. So I think I actually need 2 inches longer for my summer pants than I do my winter. The winter I use a wider waist to accommodate more layers inside of it, but I have the same length of pants for winter and summer. The only thing different is the winter one has a bigger waist. But that's the only thing that's different. But these pant legs, they keep coming up off the boot, and that never happens with my other ones, my winter ones. So I'm thinking the wider waist has something to do, maybe slightly wider legs as well, and I don't know. But just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna get some 36-inch length ones. Test those out, see how those go this summer. So here we got intersection. This is K over here, and I don't know if this is the route we're gonna take. It's probably this way. This will take you back around the way we just came on that trail that goes towards the entrance, or to that little small parking area in that campground I was telling you about initially, where I realized would not be a practical place to park. I didn't do that. Take a picture of this just in case. We're probably gonna get some nice sun. Really nice sunlight here on the way back. So I don't think I can ruck all the wood that I brought, but I got another camp trip next week at Maplewood State Park. It's probably gonna be fairly similar to this one, though it's supposed to be a little colder, but we'll see what happens. The frogs are loud. It actually hurts my ears a little how loud they are. Another good nature smells in here. Probably gets real mosquito-y in here. Oh, I gotta remember my mosquito coils on my bug candle tonight. First time of the year I'm whipping those out. I love the way the mosquito coils smell. The off-brand, it's like a woodsy incense. I almost light them more for the smell than I do for the bug repellency effects. In the colder months, it's just so windy, the smell doesn't really linger, but there's not much of a point. This is one of the ones where the sign is incredibly tall. Huh. So this map up here, it shows another trail up here. It's winter trail, that's why I'm looking at the summer trail here. So that was a winter trail that was probably blocked off over there. I like how they block off a winter trail. They don't block off regular trails in the winter, which they still might. I better watch out for toads and frogs. That'd really ruin everything if I stepped on one. Lake Shumway from this view. It's like as beautiful as it was the last time I was here. And I camped at that group campsite by myself. It was Labor Day, and It was kind of a last minute call because Schoolcraft was so booked. I didn't want to be next to 5 neighbors in a small campground that was completely full anyways. This is pretty awesome. I really like this trail here. It's a really good one. This backpack site K is a jewel here. It is an absolute jewel. It's probably the easiest one to hike to. Although the other two I called out when we were here earlier, I think it was D and G maybe. Those are a pretty easy hike. But this is a more scenic, majestic, beautiful hike than those ones are. Because you're right by the lake and man, it's really awesome. Yeah, I can't recommend this site enough. I haven't even camped there yet, but this whole surrounding area is just super awesome. I'm just so happy just being here. Lake Shumway. Good old rucksack on me. I haven't been doing a lot of hiking with my rucksack. I'm just gonna bring it with me to camp with all my gear in it. As you saw, it can take a lot of time and effort to take all my gear out of it, and then I gotta put it back as well. It's good to do that though, because then you re-familiarize yourself with what you have. It's easy to lose track of what you have. If you lose track of what you have, it might be a sign that you have too much. You just lay it all out dry, like we did on the picnic table. And I do have some containers where if you open it up, there's a bunch of stuff in it. Supplies, first aid, medicine, etc. A bunch of little tidbitty stuff. Just cordage. I probably don't have as much cordage as I should have because I really don't use it. That's a really awesome hike. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'm kind of getting greedy. I might try to weasel in a scout of the campground. And then those 2 backpack sites, those other ones. Should probably just leave the campground alone. Do that another day. Just polish off them backpack sites. And maybe look at snow. Then I'd have every backpack site polished off here, I'm pretty sure. Now Wolf 1, that one, I don't know, it's kind of an ominous one. The location there, getting there is you have this long hike in on this trail, one way in, one way out, kind of. Oh, there is a back door, unofficial back door there, trail. But I definitely like Site K way more than I like the Wolf 1. Just on the impressions when I'm there, the hike in, the look and the feel of it. And this has what we're on now is a hiking area around it, which is really practical and close. Where Wolf 1 doesn't really have that. You just have the hike in and the hike out the one way. And you're just kind of enshrined in woodland, so it'd probably be really buggy in the warmer months. It probably is here as well, but see, like this moment here, it opens up. You have different moments, less shade, more shade, less trees, more trees. So I've pretty much seen all the backpack sites for the most part, though I haven't been inside the first two I called out earlier. This is a buzzkill here. Yeah, so we can't go on this. So it ends. The trail's gonna end here, I think. I don't know. Yeah, you better not. Alright, so that's kind of a buzzkill. So, well, we got to take a look at this side anyways. It's good we didn't hike in on that side. We didn't go too far. It is really annoying though, honestly. It looked like a really cool part. But you just got to you got to roll with the dice. It's too bad though. Like they don't even have this park staffed at all. So now I gotta watch out. I don't get negative now. I gotta watch out. Cause it did seem like things were too good to be true, but they still are. So I would emphasize that area we just saw is probably gonna be decrepit and closed for sure. 2026. I would say probably 2027. They didn't have any staff here this year, it sounds like. So there's some kind of funding issue going on. Unfortunately, there's not bigger plans to relinquish land or anything like that. I don't think there will be for this state park. That has happened with some state parks over history here in this state. Found out there were a handful of them, state parks and state recreation areas, that were returned, or they were repurposed in different ways. Some of them were just converted from state parks to, like, I think regional parks for like certain counties. I think Elbow Lake Park is one of those. I know Upper Sioux Agency, that's one I get real butthurt about, was that was given back to the I think the Sioux. Sometimes you'll see it, well, I've seen it at a state park, that somebody with graffiti, they wrote land back, like they want their land back. So for that state park, they got their wish on that one. See, I do long form videos anyways, so I'll just timestamp certain spots. I'll try not to let that bother me, that part there, because it was about to get really cool. It was about to get really cool. But hopefully they have a similar boardwalk like that at Beaver Pond Trail. It's a more narrow one though. Hopefully that one holds up for a while. Cause that's and I have a hike of that trail as well. It's a part of a bigger hike, like I don't even know how long it was, maybe 4 hours or something, but it's in there. Might be 2 or 3 hours into it. And that's when we walk past those backpack sites also. I think it's D as in David and G as in George. Yeah, DG I think. Which I walked right up to the basically right up to the door of those sites, and then seen that they were occupied and just turned around and walked out quietly, because there's a little bit of a path to get into them, from the trail. But those they didn't really resonate, like as I was walking up to them, they didn't really resonate with me. But this one, the whole way there is just, I just loved it. This is the area where the frogs are really loud. It does hurt my ears, actually. I can't believe it. I've never heard frogs this loud before. I always keep earplugs on me just in case, usually because of noisy camp neighbors. But if I were camping right in here tonight and I heard this all night, I'd definitely have them in. It's painfully loud. So another good thing about this backtrack is we will get to see that trail from another perspective on the way back. Sometimes that'll bother me, like when I'm editing or referencing the footage for later. I like to have like almost every inch covered. I'm the type of person that really has to prepare, because a lot of things just don't really come instinctually for me, it would seem. So the more I'm ready, the more I can avoid distractions or handle them better. But I can just really plan it out in my mind really well if I know what the area looks like. And I just feel confident going into it. Like planning the trip, going to the trip, in the trip, the whole time I'm just confident, and that's a really good, I guess it's kind of an insurance policy. Like you know you got an insurance policy, it just kind of makes you feel better, your peace of mind. It's kind of like that. That confidence that you carry with you, the days leading up to the trip and during the trip, and in the trip and after the trip, really pays off. Really overall makes the trip more rewarding and memorable and enjoyable. Although some things you can't prepare for, obviously. But if you got 40% of it, you're pretty much golden. Like that sun's about to be. Now we're heading back. We're not going to take that roundabout trail. We're just going to go straight this way. Oh, maybe not. I'm going to kick myself if I do that. Okay. Alright, I'll leave it a mystery. We'll just head back. It's almost 7 anyway, so I got about an hour and 40 minutes till it starts getting dark. So I'm going to wrap it up once we get to the parking area for this scout. Then I'm going to ruck in the wood. When I first started thinking about rucking in wood, my biggest concern was damaging the rucksack on the inside from the wood, puncturing it. Then I got that thick mill storage bags, and I've used the same one over and over. There's a few punctures in it, but it's still holding up. That's just working great. The wood I got today though is really smooth oak, so it's not really any jagged parts in it for the most part. It's really heavy wood though. Pretty much all wood is pretty heavy. So that trail that where we had to turn back, we probably had 10 minutes left of hiking to complete the trail, to go all the way around the lake. kind of sad, like the funding must not be appropriated properly, because I know Banning State Park, they're remodeling their showers in their campground, and William O'Brien just did some remodeling as well on the Riverway campground, but I don't think any of that was really necessary. Like, what they have is good enough, but you got places like this with the boardwalk that's down. There's a boardwalk at Lake Maria State Park that's down. I'd rather have a functioning boardwalk than a brand new shower. Most people who camp, they come from homes that have showers. I mean, a state park specifically. If you camp at a state park, you probably live in a home, more than likely. Otherwise, you just do dispersed camping or something. So I don't see why the need for showers is. At least they don't have to be top of the line, you know, like a hotel, 5-star hotel, or even a 2-star hotel. And then the nicer they are, the more it would encourage people to just sit in there all day. A little bit of a trough in here. I'm doing a little bit of ad hoc stuff here. I'm feeling good. Yeah, this is kind of, the one on the beaver pond trail is a little wider than this, I think, but it's pretty narrow like this as well. And it goes over kind of a taller part as well. So it can be a little creepy, but hopefully that one holds up for a while without anybody having to nurse it. This one looks like it's been falling apart for a long time. And I was gonna risk it, but the first step I took, it was just so decrepit. I couldn't believe it. All right, here's our home for tonight. You can't even really see anything from the trail here. Nothing's even grown in yet. Better get one of these too. Not sure which one I'm going to go with. It's good to be back here. I was thinking I might do Wolf 1 this year, but once I camp at a state park for a year, I don't camp at that. I don't repeat a camp at a state park in the same year, because there's so many other options right now. Wow, yeah. Home sweet home, just waiting for us. I'm gonna make that creamy macaroni and cheese tonight. I got some pretzel slider buns, the Kings. That's gonna be awesome. They had a good deal on it as well on Amazon, so I bought another box of them. Usually if I can get a box of 6 of them for under 50 bucks, it's a really good deal. I already have a lot of them, but sometimes they can go for a while on Amazon where it's over $60 a box for 6 of them. I want to pay less than $10 a bag if I can. And the Pasta Primavera, I can't find a case of 6 of those ever. I only have to buy I can only find the individual packaged ones. So I'm always watching those, and when they go under $10, I usually buy several of them. But that's my other one. I usually rotate between the Pasta Primavera and the creamy macaroni and cheese, freeze-dried Mountain House camp meals. The creamy macaroni and cheese, it doesn't seem like a lot while you're eating it, but if you just wait a little bit, it'll fill you up. But I have considered like pre-cooking some noodles, like farfalle, and then adding that to it, just to kind of give it a little more. But the Pasta Primavera, it seems as though it has more bulk in it. There's definitely more food in it. Oh, it's a red squirrel. Hey, buddy. That was cool. Little buddy there. I love them red squirrels. So we got a little bit of cell reception here, it says. I drove through McGrath to get here, but the weather isn't loading right now. So it's like at 2 bars, but it's not loading. So the internet is spotty here. If, however, you have a cell booster, you probably have no problem. Though I've never tested one of those. I got a strange feeling though, my redundancy phone is actually going to have service here. Just checking out the vehicles in that parking lot down there. I think that red van left and another vehicle pulled up in his place. I think that red van was at Fisher They. That wasn't on the dock. Hope he didn't mind me while I stared at him in a really creepy way while he successfully caught that fish. I gotta cuff my boot again. It's really annoying. I hate having to do that. If you don't though, you risk ticks. You're inviting ticks in. Whew. Kind of hope nobody's there witnessing me ruck my wood. You never know who or what they are, or what plans they may have. It's one of the biggest things with backpack camping is you can't bring your vehicle with you. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why I don't do it as much as I probably should. And this park doesn't appear to be staffed this year. So if word gets around with the wrong type of people, then it might become a big target. Though it might be a little paranoid, but I think it's good to think a little like that to a certain extent. So last weekend, I didn't even mention this yet, I stayed at Franz Hebne State Park and I did a hike there. That went really good. And then the next morning, I scouted Zipple Bay State Park. All the campsites there. And that went really well. Saw Lake of the Woods and everything. And now there's only one state park I haven't been to yet, and that's Lake Bronson State Park. And I have a plan to go there the end of this month, after I camp at Old Mill State Park. And after I camp at Old Mill State Park, I only have 2 state parks left to camp at, and I would have camped at all of them. That will be Lake Bronson and Zipple Bay. And I'm getting ready to book a site at Zipple Bay. I just need to wait a little bit. I don't want to wait too long. I'm just kind of waiting here just to see how things pan out, the schedule and everything. Because my plan is when I camp at Zipple Bay, my plan is the next morning to scout the 3 campgrounds at Beltrami Island State Forest, which is just south of Zippo Bay State Park. So I'm thinking it'll be maybe 2 hours per campground, counting the travel time and the time to scout it. There probably won't be completely empty. There'll be some sites I'll have to profile past. I had to do that at Zippo Bay with a very few amount, actually. Most of them were open. I was kind of shocked. But if you're seeing this, that video is already out. If everything went well. No, I think that van's still there. That red van's still there, so that's good. I got good vibes from that guy. That Fisher, they. I don't plan on using any footage when I ruck the wood back. However, I'm always recording just in case something happens, wildlife or whatever. Oftentimes I'll notice the camera will deter people from making ignorant choices with me. It's a really cool thing. Like mainly in the city though, you know, if I'm shopping or something. Really deterred people's behavior from how they were going to behave and how they ended up behaving when they noticed there was a camera right in their face that they didn't notice right away. Well, prevention is the best weapon. Avoidance and prevention. Number one. Okay, this is where it pivots off. We're going to go this way. We're going to start hearing campground sounds. At least I will. I think I smell onion rings, which isn't something I usually smell, but I welcome that smell. Ah. Onion rings and nature smells. Whoops, sorry. Lake Shumway. We are here at Lake Shumway. It's like I'm in a dream. Most of my dreams are weird nightmares. So I guess it isn't really like a dream after all. It's not like the cliche dream you would call a dream. Everything's awesome. Oh. So when I get back to camp, I'm probably just gonna start boiling the water immediately. I usually set up my tent while the water's boiling, and then I usually don't finish setting up my tent before the water starts boiling. So then I pour that in the freeze-dried food. That starts coming to life, and I go back to finishing my tent. And I'm also have an extra task now where I have to unload my dry bag and put everything back into my rucksack, which will probably take 5 to 10 minutes. And I'll learn from it, and I'll become more efficient. So you can actually dock your boat over here. Interesting. Those are probably the people we had in that picture when I was reminiscing on when I was here last. So they're probably camping here, and they parked their boat right here. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Interesting. If you're ever camping in this campground, you can get in here at night, and it's a clear sky. I recommend you do it. It's cool. But you got the whole lake here that you can look up at, so I don't know, something magical about being in this bald spot and looking up. It's kind of neat. When I did it, saw the constellations, stars, luminaries, whatever those things are. The Luminary Mysterium. Alright, so we're getting ready to wrap it up here. So I hope this helped you. If it did, please let me know. I would really appreciate to hear from you. I thank you for your time, for taking a look. And I hope you have awesome trips. Hope everything goes very well. There aren't a lot of annoyances to pull you from peace. I'm working to become less negative, so hopefully over time I will be less negative when I talk about stuff. I'm going to show you the area where I thought we were going to come out of on this trail down here. I kind of want to walk down there, but I'm running. I'm kind of pushing. Time's going kind of quick here, so I'm gonna. Yeah, right where that guy's pulling that boat out, though. It's kind of the entrance of that trail. I would head that way. So that was a really good scout. I really love that site. Just down there. So I'm gonna be staying tonight. Don't tell nobody. But I'm pretty sure I hit the nail on the head with this one. You get the annoying dogs over here. The annoying dogs over here. So yeah. And then you got the dog owners. No, be quiet. Shh, shush, be quiet. You just can't have a campground without that happening. It is so unfortunate. It's like it's so bitter with dogs. They're not all bad, kind of like people, but yeah, it just doesn't shut up, you know. I just don't know why they have to be so. I don't know why they have to be like that. Most dogs have a really good life. So yeah, here's that trail down here. Or maybe they don't. Maybe that's why they bark. That trail's right here. So it's the next day and I'm almost done with camp. I'm back here, but I guess there is park staff. I just walked past them. So that's kind of weird. I guess they're just lazy. They don't want to answer their phone or return calls or fix boardwalks. So keep that in mind as well. There's an interpretive boardwalk down here. I don't think that's shut down because he figured they'd close it off here. Let's see here. Yeah, so this trail would have continued this way. We probably got shut off right in here maybe. So we had this much left. We would have came out here. That's okay. I'd recommend you check out the Bog Boardwalk if you have time when you're here. Alright, well, from the shores of Lake Shumway. Yeah, this is the where you watercraft in to Site K from the parking area here. Got a vessel like this. It's kind of a nice visual we got here. Let me zoom out on my phone here. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna put red in the shed. So Site K, straight ahead this way. I'm not sure where the sign is. If I can remember. Really hope you can't still hear that dog. It is really annoying. can't see where the sign is, but it should be just straight ahead here. So it's not a far, if you're familiar with boating, I'm sure it's not far. It's a little big lake. It's the next day, next morning here. I'm back at the parking area. I'm just trying to see if I can see where the camp is from here. I'm pretty sure it's straight ahead, but it's hard to make out for sure. Yeah. Jay, just right off this dock right here, just boat straight ahead with all your gear to one of the most awesome camp backpack sites I've encountered, and I'm about to live there tonight. Thanks for taking a look. Take care.